Section 9.1, I wanted to provide a little bit of help with trying to graph on my Math++. I think the best way to graph and also using your calculator, you want to transform these equations into y equals form. That would probably be the best way and the simplest way to convert it into graphs on the line to figure out where they actually intersect at to provide us for the answer for these systems of equation. So let's set up the problem. Here are my two equations, and again, I want to try to solve and get y by itself to get two ordered pairs in order to graph both of these lines. So I have x minus 2y is equal to -1. So let's do this one first. I'm going to move my x over. So these cancel out. And let me just make this separate so you can kind of see when I bring things over to the other side. So now I'm going to have -2y is equal to -1 minus x. So we can't actually subtract both of these, so we'll leave it separate because they're not like terms. So the next thing we're going to do is to get rid of the -2, we're going to divide everything by -2. So divide this by -2. So our final equation, when these cancel out, is going to be y equals a positive 1/2, because both of these negatives here make it positive, and both of these negatives make a positive, plus x over 2. So this is going to be the first equation that we're going to use in our calculator. But let's go ahead and get the second one. So we have 4x minus 3y is equal to 6. So I'm going to move the 4x over to both sides. Because again, I'm trying to get y by itself. So that cancels. So we're going to drop down our new equation. So -3y is equal to 6 minus 4x. We're going to do -3 for each one of them. And then our final equation is going to be y equals, because these cancel, 6 divided by -3 will be -2. And these two negatives make a positive, and we have 4 over 3 and x. So this is going to be my other equation. So these are the two equations that we're going to put into the calculator to figure out what to grab two order pairs. So let's move this off to the side. Let's get our calculator. So the first one is going to be 1/2 plus x divided by 2. So we're going to do one at a time to get our order pairs. So for this one here, we're going to get this one and get our order pairs for this one. So we can hit, we can see what the graph looks like. You can hit zoom 6 just to kind of see what the graph looks like. Zoom and then 6. So it should look like this. So let's get two order pairs. Second and then graph gets the two order pairs. So you can pick any one of these. I would pick. I would try to eliminate. Don't get any decimals. Try to get two numbers that are clean or whole numbers. So I'm going to choose 1 and 1 and 3 and 2. So put this in here, 1 and 1 and then 3 and 2. For the next one now, we're going to go back to y equals. We're going to clear it out, and we're going to put our second one in, -2 plus the 4 over 3 x, and then we're going to go, you can see what the graph looks like, zoom, and then 6 to see what the graph looks like. So this one looks like this. So let's get our two order pairs that we need. For this one here, I'm going to pick 0, 0, negative 2, and then 3 and 2 is going to be my next one I'm going to pick for this one. So let's write those down. So 3 and 2. And 1 and negative, 0, 0 and negative 2. So 0 and negative 2. So these are the four order pairs that we're going to take to MyMathLabs+ to graph both of the lines together. So we click this graph here, and here's our line 2. So we're going to click this line 2 here, and notice that these numbers up here change. See how they change each one? So we're going to actually, don't click unless you actually get to the numbers that we actually chose in our calculator. So the first one we chose was 1, 1. So 1, 1. So you got to have a steady hand, and once you get to 1, 1, you click. So now we got to find our second one, which was 3, 2. So 1, 2, 3, go over to 3, and then up 2. And that was 3, 2 that you saw up here. So now we click the line tool again to get our second one, our second equation, which was again 3, 2. So 1, 2, 3, up 2. And then 0, negative 2. So 0 means we don't move anywhere, we go down 2. So again, before you click, make sure that up here says 0, negative 2 and all the four order pairs that we found. We'll click save, check answer, and we get the problem right. So this one, that example should help you with number 2 on section 9.1. Also number 3 and also in section 9.1. You just again solve for y, put both of them in your calculators, grab two order pairs, and then graph them on the line. Make sure again you check before clicking on this, make sure this up here matches exactly what you found in the calculator or what you've written down on your paper. If you want to use the view an example one, that's fine. They don't actually tell you to use the calculator like I showed you. They just chose some random number. So it doesn't matter what number you choose. If you chose negative 2 and plug it in for this x and solve for y, you'll get negative 4. If you chose 1, plug it in for this x and solve, y was going to equal to 3. So it doesn't matter which number you actually choose. Now the calculator provides it for you, or you just can just choose whatever x that you want. It could be negative 2, it could be 0, it could be negative 1, it doesn't matter. You just plug it in for your x to figure out what the y is. So it's pretty much the same thing as solving the problem. So we plotted it, they plot the first one here, they plot the second one, like up here, and they drew the line. Then they did a second one here. They actually chose the same numbers or coordinates. So they plugged it in here, plugged it in here. And notice that once they plugged the negative 2 in and the 1 in, they got the exact same answers for this one. So for this one here, it's actually going to be on the same line when you graph it. So here, they're actually already equal to y for this one here. So you actually don't have to do the math like we did, like I showed you in the color examples. You could just type in this one in your calculator, this one in your calculator. Do one at a time. Do this one first, get your two order pairs and graph it. Then do the second one, get your two order pairs and graph it. And this one here, the second one is the one you have to change into y equals. So move this. You will move this negative 8 x over to here by doing the opposite, which is addition. Then you can put this in your calculator, get your 2 points, graph it. Make sure again when you graph that your order pairs match the two numbers you found in the calculator. So if hopefully those few examples will help with 9.1. If not, just please let me know.